Hi, it's Ariel with Auto City in El Cajon, San Diego's award-winning used car dealership. Behind me is a 2019 Hyundai Kona in chalk white with a black and houndstooth interior. This car has just over 14,000 miles on it. 2019 is the very first model year for the Kona, a new venture from Hyundai as they are finally taking their rightful place in the sporty, compact crossover SUV segment. Now, this compact crossover SUV is rather inexpensive, rather economical, kind of cheap, kind of basic. However, when you're comparing it against potential rivals such as the Toyota CHR, the Honda HRV, is it the HRV or the CRV? Anyway, when you're comparing it against its potential rivals, there are some pretty nice features that make this economical compact crossover SUV stand out among those cars. Let's take a look now. The Kona is powered by a 2-liter 4-cylinder Atkinson engine, whatever that means. When paired with a 6-speed automatic transmission, delivers a not great but not terrible 147 horsepower, 132 pound-feet of torque, and gets 33 miles to the gallon highway. This front-wheel drive only subcompact crossover is a new venture from the South Korean automotive giant, and its design is received by me with mixed reviews. I don't think it's bad looking, not as gaudy or cheesy as it could have been, but also Hyundai was kind of on their way to designing actually good-looking cars with simple, sharp, angular lines. I like the new lineup, but this just seems like one step backwards. Again, not bad looking. It does have some nice flair here and there, such as this batwing overhang surrounding the rear window. The two-tone plastic cladding gives it a nice, rugged off-road feel. And I like other features as well, like this taillight cluster. But it's just not as clean and simple as I would have expected a 2019 Hyundai to be. This extra grille strip just makes no sense to me. The headlights remind me of the ugliest Jeep Cherokee, and upon closer viewing, I come to find that, like the Batsuit, they have nipples. However, it is nicely proportionate, slightly rugged, and from certain angles it is quite handsome. That same theme of not ugly but not forward-thinking continues in the cockpit as well. Alright, it's pretty basic in here. It's pretty much what you would expect from an economy car from South Korea. The materials are kind of archaic. There's no amazing features. There's no hidden luxury items or anything like that. It's very bare bones, very basic. There is single zone climate control. There's a good old-fashioned turnkey ignition, no button start. There's a good old-fashioned mechanical handbrake, no electronic thing. There's a good old-fashioned mechanical automatic shift lever. Having said all that, though, it is also very comfortable and very ergonomic in here. There's nothing out of place. There's nothing that doesn't belong where it belongs. This touchscreen situation is a little oddball looking, sticking out of the dash like that, but it's placed in a very comfortable area. The buttons are nice and large. They're easy to access while you're driving. The screen is easy to read. The seats are very comfortable. They're actually some of the more comfortable seats I've sat in an economy car. They do have some really nice bolstering, not to mention the houndstooth material in the center, which I am a big fan of. I think it's gorgeous. Other than that, the visibility is great out of the front and the rear, which is kind of something you don't expect from one of these sort of crunchy little sporty compact SUVs that are all like bulky like that, like the Toyota CHR-V and this Honda HVH or whatever they're called. You can't see out the back of those cars. The Kona, I have really good visibility out the back. It's pretty good. Now, I took this car for a test drive earlier. Unfortunately, my GoPro is out of commission today, so you're just going to have to take my word for it. And the car drives pretty nice. It's nothing amazing, but it's a pretty good driver. It's got some nice pedal feel. It's got 2 modes, normal and sport, and the sport doesn't turn it into a Ferrari, but it makes it kind of fun to drive, and it does handle a little more like a car than it does an SUV, which I appreciate. All in all, it's a cheap, basic, economical car, but it's comfortable, it's ergonomic, and it's an okay driver. Now, the rear seating does leave a little something to be desired. The seats are still comfortable, but it's just a little cramped back here, and I can't fully explain why. I have plenty of headroom, and when I'm sitting in this seat, I have leg room because the last person to drive this car was me, and I sit close to the steering wheel like a granny. But when I come over to this side, where the passenger's front seat here is placed at a pretty normal position, I have almost no legroom. My knees are bumping against the back of this chair, and I'm not a very tall person. I'm only about 5'7", 5'8". And even though it's not the most cramped back seat, I just feel a little claustrophobic back here, and I can't fully explain why. And really the only feature back here for your rear passengers is this small armrest with two small cup holders. I don't see any climate control back here, let alone even any ventilation, so you're just getting it from the front. Maybe there's something under the front seats there, but other than that, there's really not much going on back here. Moving on back here to the trunk, let's see what this Kona has to offer in the way of cargo capacity. Yeah, it's pretty much what you would expect from this size car. It's not like, whoa, how much trunk space is there in this small car, but it's also not like disappointingly small. It's pretty much, yeah, that's what I expected. It's not huge, it's not amazing. Under here, there really is no option for hidden storage. I mean, you could put items down there, but that's pretty much where the spare tire and the tools live. So they're gonna be rolling around by the spare tire and tools. You can flip these seats down, and you do have a little more space there, so that works. There's no 12-volt socket back here. There are some tie downs here, but a lot of cars, a lot of wagons and things have 12-volt sockets back here. This one doesn't. Maximum load, 130 pounds. I guess I can't sit on that thing. I'm way more than 130 pounds these days. The Kona might not have everything you've come to expect from a modern car, but with a price tag that's an average $2,000 to $3,000 less than an HR-V or CHR, you do get a lot for your money. It is comfortable, it's easy to get along with, and I really did mean it when I said this car is a good driver. Somehow 147 horsepower is all this peppy pup needs. All in all, it is a viable option. Basic, economical, nothing too flashy, nothing too fancy, but it is fun to drive, it is rather comfortable, and it does offer pretty good value when comparing it to other sporty compact crossover SUVs. I think it's okay in my book. If you'd like to come take a look at this Kona or any other cars we have on our award-winning lot, come see us in El Cajon, San Diego, or check us out online at GoAutoCity.com. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Keep driving.
Auto City.